So hi, welcome to the another tutorial for Python for cybersecurity. So in this video we are going to know about the basic syntax and data type. So most probably you have already gone through with a lot of courses in Python. So here basic syntax and data type understanding both topic is very much important because entire course is based on this thing. So in this video I'm going to tell you exactly uh, what are the basic syntax that is required to learn before starting this course and multiple data types that is I'm going to tell you. So in a very short manner, mastering basic syntax and data type is very much crucial for this course, and basically we are going to cover all those things. So let's get to the sublime text. So here we'll be understanding what is variable and data type. So variable in Python is something which is storing data. As simple as that. There is some block which is storing couple of data in it is called a variable that can be used somewhere else. So we are using a kind of function where the things will get stored, and after a couple of time whenever we want we can use that function for printing something which can be taken as a variable to store some specific set of data or something in it, user input or whatever input we have entered into the code. So let's take an example of data type. Don't worry if you don't have any idea exactly what I'm writing and all those things, because each and everything will be get cleared in this course. So I'm using all those terms because this course is entirely based on cybersecurity. So terms should also be related to it. So let's keep it 75.5. Is system compromised? No, it's not compromised. So the first thing that you're seeing is called a string. A string is a sequence of character which can be enclosed in a code. For example, admin or password 123 can be considered as a string. Now next thing is integer. So second thing that you're seeing on your screen is called integer, which can be a whole number without a fractional component. We should not have any fractional component. So it can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 100,000, 10,000, lakh. This can be all those things can be integer, but make sure it should not be a fractional component. So 5 is what you say integer. Now next thing is float. So float is a number with a fractional component. As you can see, 75.5 is considered as a float. 99.9, 12.6, all those things will be considered as a float. Now the next thing, the last you're seeing, what does it mean? So the question is compromised. So there might be only two answers. First thing is the false and true. So exactly this is what is boolean. So boolean means true or false value. So this is what exactly boolean means. Now next thing comes is a list. List is something which can be said to be a ordered collection of items which can be of different types. For example, admin, let's say guest, let's say root. So all this thing is a list. Now another thing that we are going to learn in this tutorial is directory. So it means unordered collection of key value or pairs. So for example, uh, let's say username is considered as a directory. Mm, exactly all this pair which is in the list is considered as a directory. So let's say admin. So all this thing is considered comes under a directory actually. Status. So this is exactly what directory means. Now let's go through with a basic operation with string, integer, list and directories. So first we'll start with the string. So as I told you, in this entire course I'll be using ParrotOS. So I hope you are already having a system which is configured a Linux machine, and if you are not having Linux machine, then you can go through the Visual Studio as I told you in the intro session, lab setup video. So here let's start with the code. So first we'll be focusing on a string. So under string something comes which called as concatenation. So concatenation exactly means combining a string with the adding operator, which means we are adding two operator which can be said to be a concatenation. So for example, let's create a program file for Python 3. Let's give it a name test.py. Let's open this thing so that we can enter up some sort of code in it. So as always I'll be using Pluma and open a terminal as on the same path. So let's enter a very small code. First name, let's say it's VIH. Second name, group. Full name can be first name, then plus, enter this thing, plus and last name. Okay, then let's print this full name. So what does it mean? This is a variable where we have stored a value. This is a variable where we have stored a value VIH. This is a kind of variable where we have stored a value group. Now we are adding both those things by using concatenation plus operator. Yes, here you can see, and the final value will come in full name. So what next should be done is, let's print full name. Save this file. Let's run this thing. So why it's not showing? There might be some error. Let's figure it out. First name. What it says? Line 3. Full name. So first name is there plus last name. Full name is there. Equals to VIH. So here we had done a very basic mistake, which is the syntax error actually. So you can see it's printing. Full name is printing first name plus last name, and then we are adding both the values. So full name is get printed. So this is exactly what concatenation means. And now we'll understand what is repetition. So repetition is something where we are repeat a string using a star operator. So let me show you how. So let's say if we are if we want to uh, make this dash to be printed for the next 10 lines, 10 values. So let's say we are keeping 10. Now let's simply print separator, control S. So you can see there are 10 lines which was printed as per directed by us. Let's keep it 20. So you can see value increased to 20. So this is exactly what repetition means. Now let's come to the slicing, which is also very important, that need to be understood during this course. So what does slicing means? It means extract part of a string using slicing. So let me show you how. Log. Let's say if we are creating a log in this code, let's say user, which is admin, IP address is something uh, 192.168.1.1. Okay, now let's keep IP address as log entry, and let's say 14. So I'll show you exactly what does it mean. Don't worry if you're not understanding. Let's save this file and run. So what does it mean? So we are extracting the part of a string using the slicing. Okay, we are entering out with a 14. Let's keep it 16. So you can see IP address is only getting printed. So what does it mean? So we are just removing this section, not one from here. We are removing this section. If you are not going to use 16, let's say 10. Sorry, 100. It's an error actually. So you can see it's printing from here because it's just removing the starting 10 point. Here you can see 1 2 3 4 5 6 space can be considered 6 7 8 9. So it's printing from 10. So this is exactly how the slicing works. Now the next point is, first we have gone through the string. Now we'll be understanding the integer and float. So again, let's go to the paratOS. So why we are understanding integer and float? Because basic arithmetic operators are very crucial for calculation and data analysis in the cybersecurity. So we'll be using addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. So first, let's say there are 3 attempts. New attempts, if there will be any, then it will be added 1, because if there will be, let's say there are 3 attempts, we are doing another attempts to it, then it will be become 4 attempts. Another attempts, it will become 5. So this is what I want to convey with this course. Now let's print new attempts. Okay, so you can see 3 attempts was there, 1 attempt was added. So this is exactly how we are using plus sign to add something. We just create a variable, we have entered up the detail, we have created a new variable, and we have entered up the detail of the previous variable, which is attempt is here, and plus 1. Now new value is printed as 4. Here you can see. So this is the final output actually, what I'm printing. Now a very important thing, but little bit complex, which is called the floor division and modulus. I am damn sure in your childhood you have gone through this basic, uh, what do you say, division process. Let's say it's 23. If we need to divide by 10, then what does it mean? It will become 20. Here what will be the value? It will be 2, and this is not actually, there was an, this will not cross, this will become 3. Okay, so 23 divided by 10, then it will, for 2 times it come 20, and let's cross, it will become 3 by 2. So let's say how we can do it by coding. So let's say their value is total 23, and per page there should be only 10. Okay, now let's say formula for page is equals to total per page. Okay, now for remainder we'll enter this detail, total divided by per page. Now let's print pages, which will be 2, and reminder. So here you can see first we printed the page, which is uh, total by per page equals to 23 by 10, then it will be 2, and now remainder is 23, remainder is total by per page, which is total 23 by per page 10, then it will be 3, as I shown you in the example. So this is what I had done in the coding. So that's great. Now let's move to the next topic, which is lists in Python. So list is, as I told you, a collection of items that is mutable and that can contain elements of different data types, which can include other lists as well. So first let's create a list. Let's say 5. This is list, list of integer actually. Another thing is username, root. So this is a list of a string actually as a student starting. Now let's create a mixed type of list. Let's say 1 comma VIH comma 23.4 true, which is a boolean actually. Now create a nested list. Nested list means basically a list within a list. So how to do that? Nested list. Six. So this is done. So what does it says in line 7? We have done a very small mistake, which is this one. Okay, so why this is not executing? Just write your answer. So let me tell you why it's not executing, because we have not printed anything. So let's print the number. Now let's print the username. Now let's print mixed list. Now let's print nested list. There is again an error, which is numbers is not there. The variable name is number actually. Okay, I done a mistake. Sorry for that. Now let's print. Yeah, so there is some another error, which is not username, it's username. So here you can see it's printing. So as I told you, the first thing that you're seeing is a create of a list of integers. Second thing that you're seeing is a list of a string. Third thing you can see is a mixed type list, and fourth is nested list, which means a list within a list. So this is what I have shown you, how to create a list if we will be having multiple value. Now let's say how to access the element. So for that, let's write one more code. Let's say if you have to access the IP addresses, for example, let's keep some IP address there. 2.168.1 10.0.0.1 72.16.1 first IP equals to IP. Now let's print the first IP. So what does it mean? We have created a list. Then first IP equals to IP address 0, which means IP address is what we have to the variable. 0 is something which is starting from here. So in the list, it always start from 0. With matlab, it's not just starting from 1, 2, 3. It always start from 0, 1, 2. So now we're printing the IP. Now let's access the second element. How to do that? So in the way we have done for the first element. Now for second element, second IP equals to IP addresses 1. So as I told you, second thing will be 1. This first will be 0. Now let's print the second IP. Now let's try to execute. So here you can see this is as I said it's 0, which is this one. Just printing 192.168.1.1. And now the second element, which can be considered as 1, is 10.0.0.1. So this is how you can access the element. If you want to modify any element, then the thing that you need to do is, if you want to modify the first one, then simply write this thing and the thing with watch you want to modify. So this is what I have done. Enter up into the Pluma, and now what I have done, I'll create a list. Then we need to modify the element, which is the first element. So we just skipped 1 10 0 1 with a place of 10 0 0 2. Now we'll be printing the IP address. So here you can see it modified the second, because here you can, if you relate, this is the same. Second thing is that this one that we have entered up after a couple of codes, and this is first one. So this is how you can replace element with this anything specifically. Now what, in case if you want to add IP address, then again for that we are going to use the append. Let's say 192.168.1.2. Okay, now let's print IP address. So you can see this is giving us the syntax error. So let's see why it's giving us, because there is we have not closed the bracket. Control S. Again it's giving the error because there are two brackets there. Okay, so here you can see if you want to add element, how you can do. This is the first printed, second is 0 1 printed, third is 0 1 it's printed. Now the fourth element that we have added, it pushed into it. So this is exactly how you can do. For removing an element, what we can do is, let's say what we are to remove 192.1.1.1. Control S. Let's see. Okay, we have not printed anything. Suppose that we need to print. So here you can see you have successfully removed this element. Okay, which was in the first. The thing that we have entered is into the first, it was removed, and rest is printing. What if you want to remove the last IP address? So for that, uh, you need to do some basic coding once again. Let's say let's create a variable with the name last IP equals to IP address dot pop, which is for removing, and push is for adding. Okay, now let's print last IP, and now let's print IP addresses. So you can see what we have done is in the first line we have printed the last IP address, as you can see. In the second we have removed the last thing. Okay, we have removed the last, what do you say, the IP addresses. So this is exactly how you can remove the element by taking two examples. First thing is the last IP, where we have entered the last IP address is printed, and in the second, last IP's address is ignored. So this is how and what we can do for printing. Now the fourth thing is directory, dictionary actually. Now dictionaries are preferred for actually storing the key value pair, which can be kind of configuration. It can be a user details or even attributes. So let's access the value. How we can do? So we're just creating a dictionary at first. If you're might be thinking of what I am writing, then we are creating dictionary. First we have enter the username, which can be admin. What is the role which is assigned to him is it's super user, as always my favorite. Now the status, then it is active. Let's keep it something similar. Now let's say role equals to user info. So what we are doing is accessing the value. So here we are trying to access the value of role, and then we'll printing the role. You can see. Let's see if it's working or not. So yeah, it's correct. So what we had done is we are accessing the value. We have specified username as admin, role as a super user, and status is active. So we took role. Then what does it should be going to print is super user. Let's give it a try with something else. So here you can see the username is admin. So this is exactly how you can code and how you can access the value actually. Now how to modify a value is something, let's say user info status equals to, let's say we are changing status to inactive, and then we'll be printing the user info. So let's remove this thing, this set. So here you can see it's printing the user info as I modified the value from status to inactive. So we are printing the user info along with updating the status where I had done changes of inactive from active. So this is exactly how you can do. Took a variable, specify the things, we have done couple of changes and then print the final value of user that were requested by the customer or something. Now how to add a key value pair? For that, let's create this thing. For that, let's say where was the last login? Choice. ठीक है, and now let's print the, it's showing an error. Why it's showing the error? Because user info we have entered up. The last login is, what the set time thing? Yes, last login is 2024 0601. Then we are printing the user info. So where the issue is getting user info is correct. Last login is again correct as far I can see on my screen. Then equals to print user info. Everything seems to be correct actually, but don't know what is the error. The first line in module. Okay, let's keep it. Oh, sorry, I had done some variable under. We were just stating the activating the status actually. Let's not make this thing very much hyped. So here you can see we have added a very key value which is the last login. So here you can see the first thing is printed, which is updating the status from active to inactive. Here you can see, and then we have added the last login which is 2024 6 and 1, so which is also available in this context. So this is exactly how you can do add some key values. So I guess understanding these basics will provide a strong foundation to you for further exploration of Python capabilities in cybersecurity. So this is going to include for automation, analyzing log data and developing security tools. So I guess that's all for today. So thank you. Let's see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Jai Hind.